Hey, how's it going? It's Keith Townsend coming to you from Mandalay Bay. You know, we keep moving around. We've been in the Delano. We've been in the Mandalay Bay again. Now we're in the meeting rooms in Mandalay Bay, VMworld 2018. Yanbing Li. Yanbing, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule. It's early in the AM on, we have to say it's VMworld Wednesday, which is a much different experience than regular Wednesday. It gives a true definition of hump day. Yanbing is the Senior VP GM of the Storage and Availability Business Unit, SABU, because at VMware, us VMware folks have to have acronyms
of course
for everything. So thank you for being on the CTO Advisor.
Great to be here, Keith. I've wanted to do this for a long time. I'm so glad we get to do this.
I could never pull the short straw to get you on the cube. Like I want to ask her some hard hitting questions, but I still get to do that. So
that's great.
All is fun.
I'm ready.
All right. So first off, tell us what's the major news coming out of VMworld 2018 for vSAN.
It's been an exciting time for vSAN. Certainly, you know what excites me and energizes me the most is customers' passion, enthusiasm, and success with vSAN. You know, we've really seen vSAN kind of coming out of age over the past few years and becoming a major storage platform for lots of our customers, 15,000 customers, and many of them running large-scale environments. So customer energy has been phenomenal. But on the news side, you know, this is also an interesting year where, you know, we see vSAN from a HCI product. Really, you know, we're seeing that how we are expanding the entire story and vision and actually reality for expanded HCI view. And so, you know, maybe let me break it down a little bit. You know, we're expanding our storage platform from on-prem into the cloud. Clearly, vSAN is what's powering VMC and AWS, powering IBM Cloud, powering 500 other cloud providers. We're integrating deeply with cloud storage technology as EBS, so expanding into the cloud, expanding into cloud-native applications. We're offering storage and persistence for Kubernetes.
So I got you just said something that I'm processing, and I hate to interrupt you, but did you just say vSAN has been extended to support EBS, Elastic Block Storage in AWS?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And
we don't have to get geeky.
Yeah.
But how is that even possible? I mean, when I think of VMware Cloud on AWS, bare metal running in Amazon, that's pretty straightforward.
Yes.
EBS is a whole different service running in AWS.
Yes.
One, technically, how did you guys do it? Not from a high level. And then two, why did you do it?
That's a great question. You know, we were so floored that Andy Jassy, you know, on Monday actually personally announced this news on the keynote stage. You know, my engineer was totally, well, that was not expected. But, you know, why we're doing it. Let's start with why, and then we talk about, you know, how it's actually done. So if you think about VMC on AWS, you know, the bare metal environment is actually all NVMe based, all flash environment, you know, high performing. But one of the limitation of that environment is got a fixed compute and storage ratio.
Yeah, you know, something like 5 terabytes per
10 terabytes per node, per host. And so for customers who have different needs for the capacity need for their different type of application, especially for high capacity application, you end up spinning up more nodes, and that's not a very economic.
The traditional HCI challenge. You know, every time I want more storage or more compute, I have to add an additional block, and I can be inefficient in how I expand my resources.
Yeah, because, you know, on-prem, that's a lesser of a problem because customer has a wide array of sizing options they can control. But in a cloud, you don't get to control the bare metal that's powering the cloud. So this, you know, what drove the innovation behind, you know, EBS. We think about, you know, the most elastic form of block storage is EBS, and what would be a brilliant idea of, let's say we turn vSAN into a true storage control plane, a storage platform, but we leverage the vast scalability, elasticity of EBS. So from customer's point of view, you see vSAN fully integrated into the VMware stack.
Oh.
This is the true beauty of consistent operation, consistent infrastructure. But underneath, what we're hiding from the customers is they're leveraging EBS for highly elastic capacity and flexibility. So it's a, what I see, this type of innovation is what's marrying, the best of enterprise class capabilities and data services that vSAN gets to offer, and the cloud economy and scalability that EBS has to offer. And this is really just the beginning of how we reimagine the marriage of, VMware and AWS.
So before you get into the technical piece, because I can kind of project out how the technical, I just wanted some commentary. I've been like really hard on VMware in the past about this any app, any cloud, any device
Yeah.
marketing term. I'm like, this is just vSphere everywhere. That really doesn't meet every customer need. But I think this vSAN concept in EBS is a validation of things to come. I'm an VMware employee, so I can't challenge you as aggressively on the roadmap. But I will ask, what fundamental capability, as you're thinking through the vSAN as a platform, as a reference architecture, as whatever you want to call it, as you take that from cloud provider to cloud provider, what do you see that? How do you see that impacting IT operations going forward? Like what net new capability will I have because I'm basing my storage layer on vSAN?
That's a great question. And certainly, vSAN, we don't see it as just a standalone storage product. It's really part of the overall VMware story. As you can see, we are providing more color behind the any cloud, any apps story. Any device that's left. Well, there is that element as well. So if you think about the VMware story, is taking our core SDDC stack and truly make that work for on-prem, for the public cloud, and for the scenarios of truly hybrid cloud. And we're also taking it to the edge. So you have the power of this proven industry-leading software-defined stack, but now we can make it available in all these different type of environment.
And for those folks who had missed it, the edge solution that's in preview, the ability to run VMware ESXi on ARM processors. I never thought that would come. So now this concept that I can have a vSAN, a lightweight from a compute perspective, vSAN capacity, and I'm projecting way into the future, at the edge, and then potentially running RDS on those edge devices with vSAN as the underlay is a pretty compelling scenario.
I think that definitely is opening up to a whole new set of problems we need to solve for our customers, whole new set of market reach from us as a vendor, as a business. So very excited about that expansion. But you think about, maybe we come back to your original question about what's the role of vSAN. We are truly expanding our story, and not just the story, but really with announcement and delivery capabilities to support that type of scenarios. I talk about we're expanding into the cloud. I talk about we're expanding into next generation applications. We just launched the beta, and customers can sign up for the beta now. That vSAN become the persistent storage for Kubernetes. So we're expanding in that direction. We announced the Project Dimension. The edge type of use case. Again, that's all HCI-based architecture running at the edge to support the form factor that's needed for edge type of use case. But keys, Pat talked about the superpowers, right? The cloud, the mobile, the IoT, and ML. And so these clearly are the buzzwords in our industry today. But one common thread that unite all of them is actually data. And storage loves data. So, so for us, the expansions of vSAN is we're turning it into a truly unifying storage platform that serves cloud to core to edge that serves different type of applications. The other areas of expansion we're providing is this unified data tab access. We've previously focused only on block storage, and that's what our customers are running at today.
Right.
We just launched the beta of our file services, and we're looking into, hey, the future of cloud-native applications and IoT require a lot of object type of data, because metadata, analytics, searchability, those things becomes hugely important. So we're truly building this as a foundation of a storage platform for the future of managing data.
So you've said a couple of keywords that kind of got my juices flowing from a architecture perspective, business challenge, data, the new oil. We can't have a data conversation without having this data mobility management conversation. We've gotten to the point that we have to consider moving data when appropriate. Before it was always, we move compute closest to data.
Right.
But now as we look at the big cloud providers, they're providing these AI, ML capabilities that we can't easily replicate in our data center.
Right.
We simply have to move the data. As you look at the vSAN architecture and you look at the path as vSAN as a platform, how do you see vSAN playing a role in data management, data mobility?
Right, that's a great question. So, certainly from a storage point of view, one of the motivation for building vSAN into this unifying storage platform serving different type of data access, that provides the foundation of building a richer set of data management capability on top of it. So this is, a critical capability that we're building into. And from an actual data use case point of view, lots of companies are trying to really grasp, how we define the problem for data management, how people build products that really serve the customer needs. I think it's still fairly early in the market, but what we find out is there is a clear need for data mobility. Hence this is a key focus for us. There is clear need for data protection. And data protection now, it's also becoming a much broader definition. It's not just backup, it's not just DR, it's just unifying the two, but also think about security, protecting your data from ransomware. All these other much more expanded notions of data truly protecting your data. So those become the very next areas of adjacency. The other area is think about data analytics. Lots of the analytics will require very robust metadata that's sitting underneath. So these are all changing, putting different requirement into how we think about the role of vSAN. So we're definitely very excited about the future of multi-cloud is ultimately the future of applications and data. And data is probably have a far more importance sometimes than application. So we're excited about the implications of that back to a BU that focuses on storage.
So Yanbing, I really appreciate you taking out the time, spending some time with CTO Advisor. It's been some years since I wanted to get you on camera. I have a feeling since I have a VMware badge now, I can just go into Palo Alto and bring a couple of cameras, and we can probably get some more time in.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely do that. So
and I think it would be great. Being the CTO advisor, I'd love for you to speak to our CTO and speak to some of our key innovators.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this segment of the CTO Advisor at VMworld 2018. Stay tuned for some more great interviews. We have Chris Wolf later on today and a bunch of other great luminaries such as SAP, which we're going to talk about SAP actually running on vSAN this afternoon. SAP HANA running on vSAN this afternoon. Talk to you next CTO Dose.